covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now, coverage you can count on.
A California appeals court revives a lawsuit brought by a Chico mother who said her rights as a mother were broken by the Chico Unified School District. A street gang member is found and taken into custody after police find loads of body armor and arms in Rancho Tehama. Plus, will the effects of tariffs and a potential trade war have any impact at this weekend's Home and Garden Show? You may be surprised at the answer. Action News Now starts now. Good evening. Big news out of the 9th District Court of Appeals in San Francisco. By unanimous decision, the court revived a lawsuit by Aurora Regino, the mother of a student in the Chico Unified School District. Regino sued the school district, accusing public school employees of violating her rights as a parent by using a male name and pronouns for her daughter, which was, at the time, in accordance with that student's expressed gender identity. This dates back to 2022. The court did not rule on the merits of the case, but said that a lower court judge used an incorrect legal standard in dismissing the case. So the case heads back to the lower court to reconsider. Action News Now will be following this case in the days ahead. Meanwhile, Matt Tennis, who was a school board member at the time, sent us a statement. It reads, Chico Unified seems to care more about promoting gender fluidity and sabotaging parents than they do about their failing test scores for English and math. Tennis goes on to say the district should settle with this aggrieved mother as soon as possible and change their treacherous parental secrecy policy. In other news, the Tehama County Sheriff's Office arrested a convicted felon who was found to be in possession of firearms, ammo, and body armor. Take a look at what they found. Authorities say the person was already on probation for being a convicted felon in possession of a firearm. As the investigation progressed, deputies learned that the individual has ties to the local criminal street gang, Norte Vatos Locos. The suspect was arrested and booked into Tehama County Jail on several charges. The name of the suspect is being withheld for now so that perhaps other suspects can be apprehended. Chico's show wrapped up today, Chico's Home and Garden Show, I should say, wrapped up at the Silver Dollar Fairgrounds, taking place against the backdrop of economic uncertainty tied to ongoing discussions of tariffs and trade wars. But as Sade Pullen reports, many vendors, especially those selling American-made goods, are actually welcoming the tariffs.
Today is the last day of the Chico Home and Garden Show, and we wanted to check in with some of the vendors to see if President Trump's tariffs are affecting them. Most said no, since they are American-made products, while others are anticipating the tariff impacts. I met one man who sells hot tubs. He says the tariffs haven't affected him yet.
So the main factory is based out of Vista, San Diego, and they do have a big plant just across the border in Mexico.
Okay. So have any of the Trump's tariffs affected your products at all?
At this point, no, but we have had some warning about it. Possibility of seeing a little spike in some of the products.
Okay. Martisi tells me that if tariffs start affecting his business, he will raise his prices on his products to be even with his competitors. I met another man who works at Cutco, a knife company. He says the tariffs have not affected them either.
We're a USA company, and everything is sourced from, like the steel, for example, and it all comes from Pennsylvania. So we don't have to worry about any of the tariffs going ahead and affecting us.
But that's not all. I found another steel company that is American-made as well.
About it, you said that these are American-made?
Yes, the steel products are. It used to be they were mainly made in Germany, but now they're all in the U.S.
Okay, so you guys have not been affected by the tariffs at all?
No, not at all.
Okay, great.
Reporting in Chico, I'm Sade Pullen with Action News Now.
Incidentally, Action News Now was proud to be a co-sponsor of this year's Home and Garden Show. Well, the Reading Sportsman's Expo wrapped up its two-day event today. Action News Now reporter Jesse Angelo takes a look at that expo and how it benefits both the public and local businesses.
It was a great event this year. Good vendors, and it was a great time.
Thousands of people came out to the Civic Auditorium over the weekend to check out all kinds of vendors who offered up goods and services that promote Shasta County's outdoor lifestyle.
The Reading Sportsman's Expo has become a go-to event for outdoor enthusiasts all over Northern California.
This was the 9th year for the event, and Expo promoter Carly Jant says this year's Expo was especially successful.
This year seems to be definitely up. Spending seems to be up. Lots of smiles. Where we were totally sold out, had 160 vendors. So yeah, it was great.
The annual event has become quite popular among vendors who tell me the show helps them get the word out about their businesses, especially with such great turnout from the community.
But it really helps us to get our brand out there, get our name out there, hopefully entice people to go and have a look at our product on the website.
Oh, it's been great. Yeah, this year's been busy. Saturday was packed, and this Sunday's been great.
With the vast array of outdoor activities available here in Northern California, it's no wonder that an event like this has become so popular.
It shows the community that there's more sportsmen out here than they realize. They'll see it on TV. It's just a great venue all the way around.
We like to go camping, so Redding's a great place for the outdoor recreation, and we really take advantage of that every summer.
The Sportsman's Expo has proved to be a great benefit for outdoor enthusiasts and businesses alike. In Redding, Jesse Angelo, Action News Now.
Thank you, Jesse. Organizers say over 6,000 people attended this year's Expo. All right, some California state news to tell you about. A wayward whale that had captivated onlookers in Long Beach has died. The whale, estimated to be 20 to 25 feet long and likely in its teens, washed ashore today. The whale had initially drawn crowds as it swam through the Catalina landing. Experts had observed that it seemed healthy and appeared to be simply passing through. The whale was believed to have entered the harbor during high tide, but struggled to leave, possibly impeded by a bridge, as whales tend to avoid swimming under shadows. Well, here's how things look today from the Chico Air Park Alert wildfire camera. Overcast skies, but overall nice with pretty clear visibility around the valley. Now for the latest on the conditions, Sade Pullen is here with our first look at the weather. Sade.
Yes, so let's have a look. So this is what you can expect. So today we were pretty warm. We were about in the 60s range. We are going to have some stronger winds tonight, and we will also have some more light shower chances ahead. So those showers will be happening around 2 in the morning, going till about 7, but then as we go throughout our workday, those showers will start to subside. This is a look at our wind speeds. The current wind speeds right now for the valley is 18 miles per hour. Foothills is looking pretty calm at 5 miles per hour, and then our mountains is at 17 miles per hour. This is a look at our low temperatures for tonight. The valley is going to be in the 40s to 50s range. Foothills is going to be in the 40s range, and then our mountains are going to be in the 30s to 40s range. And I'll break that down more as we get throughout our newscast. Back to you, Jerry.
Thanks a lot, Sade. Relentless rain and severe thunderstorms have pummeled parts of the central United States. The 5-day string of storms have triggered historic flooding and tornadoes. At least 16 people have died across several states. NBC's George Solis shows us what millions are dealing with.
Sheets of rain continuing to drench parts of the South tonight. Powerful rushing water appearing to pull this house off its foundation in Frankfort, Kentucky. Catastrophic flooding reaching roofs of some buildings, turning highways like this one into rivers. Officials in Arkansas say nearly 50 highways are closed because of high water.
It's been scary, of course, and everyone's feeling a little afraid.
Today in Little Rock, Arkansas, this massive tree collapsing onto cars and power lines leading to this fire. Fortunately, no one was hurt. And in Mammoth Spring, Arkansas, part of this train plunging into a river after floodwaters washed out this bridge, derailing multiple cars. Officials say no one was hurt. In Beebe, Arkansas, this tree crashed into Jim Tinkle's house, adding insult to injuries after days of unrelenting storms.
Has it ever been to this degree?
Not this bad, not this fast.
Storm clouds rolled into Memphis ahead of flash flood warnings in Tennessee, near where our Kathy Park is tracking the storms.
The storms here in West Memphis have unleashed so much rain, 2 to 3 inches per hour. Entire neighborhood roads are going underwater, catching motorists off guard. Some folks have no choice but to leave their cars behind.
In Kentucky, the massive amounts of rain raising rivers to dangerous levels.
Over the last 24 hours, the waters have risen over 5 feet, and we expected them to rise an additional 10.
Our Maggie Vespa is on the ground there.
It's been pouring for hours here in Paducah, and the river's rising so fast, the city's planning to install big metal gates here along its banks to keep water from rushing into downtown.
There have been multiple deaths across several states, including a 5-year-old after days of severe storms.
You guys are used to dealing with severe weather, but have you ever seen it to this level?
No, never like this in my life.
All right, coming up in our weekly economic report, concerns about the growth of the United States economy as the Fed expresses concerns about the Trump tariffs. Plus, the Pope goes public at the Vatican for the first time since being released from the hospital. You're watching Action News Now, the Weekend Report.